Hey everyone, halfway through week 4 now, so we're really getting into the meat of the class. This is an important time when I wanted to share some details on the best way to use my feedback in this class. So now that you've had some writing assignments and hopefully you've looked at my notes that I've made on your drafts, you can see what kind of notes I give, which are generally a note saying what the problem is, or a suggestion, and then explaining that suggestion or problem either with a few sentences or with a link to a resource that has a great description on it. So say I see a comma splice error, which is, as mentioned before, if you have two sentences improperly put together with just a comma. Okay, it's a pretty common error. We all make it sometimes. But I'll say comma splice error, and then I will give a link to a site that I think pretty succinctly and easily defines what that problem is and how to fix it. Okay? So something else, I will not necessarily note every instance where you make these errors. So don't think if you see something and, oh, he mentioned it once, but the rest of the paper looks fine, so I'm not going to worry about it. That's not the case. If I mention something once, it means that it's a problem that is reoccurring. Okay, so every note needs to be considered when you're doing your writing going forward. So say you do a new draft of an assignment and you've looked through it and you think it's okay, but you're wondering if there's something else you can do to tighten it up even more. There is. You can go back to your previous assignments, look at those notes, and see what I mentioned, and say I mentioned that you need to work on comma usage. Okay, click on the link I gave you there with that note, and then go to your new draft and start looking for those issues. This is the kind of thing that will help you to really notice the errors that we're making again and again, and fix them, and then eventually stop making them in the beginning. So it's a process. It's not going to happen all at once. You're not going to look at my notes and say, okay, I got it, and move on. So just keep looking at them, remind yourself. It's really great to start looking for notes that I've made across several assignments that are the same, and then making a list. So, okay, Professor Wyckoff says I have a lot of comma splice errors. So I'm going to put that on a list along with the link he gave me so that when I do a new draft, I can always click on that link, read through it again, and check my new draft for those errors. Okay, so that's one way that we're going to start really putting these tips, comments, and feedback to good use to improve our writing. So if you have any questions, let me know. Can't wait to see what you guys come up with this week.